If you've been following TV tech over the last few years, you already know the trend is simple, bigger, brighter, smarter. But every once in a while, a product shows up that doesn't just follow that trend, it pushes it to a point where your idea of a normal TV kind of resets. And this is one of those. This is the Samsung 98-inch Neo QLED 4K QN90F Series, paired with the HW-Q900F Q-Series Soundbar. And yeah, this setup is exactly what it looks like. A full-scale home theater system designed to take over an entire wall and not apologize for it. The first thing you notice is the size. 98 inches sounds like a speck on paper until it's physically in front of you. At that point, it stops being a TV and starts behaving like an environment. Your attention doesn't drift around the room anymore. It locks onto the screen. But size alone doesn't explain why this display feels so different. The real foundation here is mini LED technology under Samsung's Neo QLED system. Thousands of backlight zones working independently, constantly adjusting brightness in real time. That means bright highlights stay controlled instead of blowing out, and dark areas actually hold detail instead of turning into flat black patches. Then there's Neo Quantum HDR Plus processing. This is where the TV starts making decisions on its own, balancing contrast, color tone, and brightness depending on what you're watching. It doesn't matter if it's a movie, sports, or a random YouTube clip, the idea is the same. Optimize everything on the fly so you don't have to touch settings every 5 minutes. And in practice, it works surprisingly well. Bright outdoor scenes look intense without being harsh. Dark cinematic scenes still keep depth and separation. Fast motion in sports stays clean and readable even on a screen this large. And gaming on this kind of setup feels almost unfair, because detail visibility at this scale is something smaller displays just can't replicate. But what really makes this setup feel complete isn't just the picture, it's the audio pairing. The HW-Q900F Q-Series Soundbar brings a full 7.1-channel surround experience, and it actually matters here. Because once you scale up to a screen this size, weak audio becomes even more obvious. This system fixes that gap. Dialogue locks into the center so clearly that it feels anchored to the screen. Surround effects move across the room instead of sitting flat in front of you. And the subwoofer adds that low-end impact that you don't just hear, you physically feel during action scenes. When both the TV and soundbar are working together, it stops feeling like separate components and starts feeling like a single system designed for immersion. Samsung's Vision AI also plays a big role in the background. It analyzes content in real time and adjusts picture output based on what's happening on screen. It's not something you actively think about, but it's what keeps the experience consistent across different types of content. Of course, something this large comes with practical considerations. You're not just buying a TV, you're committing to it. Room size suddenly matters. Viewing distance matters even more. Wall placement becomes a decision instead of an afterthought. And once it's installed, it basically defines the entire layout of your space. Then there's content quality. On a display this large, low-resolution content doesn't get hidden, it gets exposed. High-quality 4K HDR content looks incredible. Lower-quality sources, not so much. But when you give it the right input, it absolutely delivers. Streaming platforms in 4K, next-gen gaming consoles, high-bitrate movies, this is where the QN90F really comes alive. The combination of brightness, contrast precision, and sheer scale creates a viewing experience that's hard to match without stepping into projector territory. And even then, projectors usually lose the battle in daylight environments. This mini LED system doesn't. Design-wise, Samsung keeps it clean and minimal. Thin bezels, simple edges, nothing distracting. Because at this size, the screen doesn't need design tricks, it is the design. At the end of the day, this setup isn't trying to be subtle or compact. It's trying to replace the idea of a traditional home theater entirely. And in a lot of ways, it does exactly that. It's not just a TV upgrade. It's a shift in how you experience content at home. Once you get used to something like this, everything smaller starts to feel like a downgrade.